Hi there, I'm the Declutter Homemaker. There's something powerful about clearing space before the new year begins. Not a full home makeover, just small decisions to release what's no longer useful, comforting, or needed. And I genuinely love that feeling when a drawer closes easily, when the shelf has breathing room again. I used to think I needed more storage to feel organized, but what actually helped was learning to let things go, quietly, one category at a time. So today, I'm walking you through 20 things you can get rid of before 2026 to make your space calmer, your days lighter, and your home feel more like yours again. Let's start with the first one. The first thing I declutter is all those plastic and paper bags I've been holding on to just in case. You know, the ones grocery bags, takeout bags, gift bags. They pile up quietly until one day the drawer won't close and you realize you haven't used most of them in months. That's exactly what happened to me. I thought I was being prepared, but really, I was just collecting clutter. So I emptied the whole stash onto the table, picked 5 I actually use, and recycled the rest. Now that drawer has breathing room again, and I don't dig through a mountain of bags every time I need one. If you have a bag stash hiding somewhere, this is your sign. Take 5 minutes, choose what's useful, and let the extras go. It's a small shift, but it clears more space than you think. The second thing I declutter is old cleaning supplies sprays. I didn't like tools I never reach for and bottles that are basically empty but somehow still taking up space under the sink. This one snuck up on me. I kept thinking, I'll use this eventually, or maybe I'll need this for something specific. But weeks passed, then months, and those things just sat there collecting dust and leaking guilt. So I pulled everything out, gave the shelf a good wipe, and made quick decisions, keep what I use weekly, combine any duplicates, toss the rest. I even found an old scrub brush I'd totally forgotten about and never liked using anyway. If your cleaning shelf feels chaotic, try this: set a timer for 10 minutes. Keep what works, ditch what doesn't, and give yourself permission to only clean with tools you actually enjoy. It makes future tidying feel easier too. The third thing I declutter is expired food hiding in the fridge and pantry. This one always surprises me, not because I forget to check, but because I think I already did. And then I'll find a jar of sauce that expired last summer, or a box of crackers I bought for a recipe I never made. For a long time, I avoided this task. It felt like a mini project I didn't have time for. But once I started doing it regularly, it became one of the fastest ways to make my kitchen feel lighter. Here's what I do. I take out one shelf or one section at a time, never the whole pantry. I check dates, toss anything expired or open too long, and wipe down the space before putting things back. If I find multiples of something, I consolidate. If there's a snack no one likes, I stop saving it just in case. It only takes about 10 minutes, but the result is immediate: more space, less food waste, and way less stress when it's time to cook. If it's been a while since you've checked your pantry or fridge, pick one spot. You don't have to overhaul everything. Just make one small edit and let yourself feel proud of that. The next thing I declutter is bath and beauty products I'm just not using. Half-used lotions, face masks. I meant to try shampoo bottles with a tiny bit left. They all add up, and honestly, they start to make the space feel more like a storage closet than a place to relax. I used to keep things just in case. What if I run out? What if I suddenly want to try that old clay mask again? But the truth is, if I haven't reached for it in the past 6 months, I probably won't. And the more crowded my shelves are, the harder it is to find the things I actually love using. So now I do a quick scan every few months. I keep what I use weekly. I toss what's expired or leaking. And if something's still good but just not for me, I pass it along to a friend or post it in a local buy nothing group. Clearing out just a few of these items creates breathing room not just for my products, but for my morning routine too. Fewer choices, less visual noise, and more time spent using things that actually work for me. You don't need a whole spa setup. You just need a few things that feel good and make sense for your life right now. Everything else, let it go. Another thing I declutter is expired medicine and first aid supplies. It's one of those categories we don't think about until we really need something, and by then we're hoping what we grab actually works. I used to store everything in one big bin, over-the-counter meds, bandages, creams, all tossed together, most of it out of sight and out of date. I remember once reaching for a cold medicine and realizing it had expired 2 winters ago. That was my wake-up call. Now I do a simple reset every season. I check dates, toss anything expired, and group things into small categories. Pain relief, cold and flu, minor cuts, stomach stuff. It doesn't have to be fancy. I just want to know what we have and that it's safe to use. This task takes less than 15 minutes, but it brings so much peace of mind. It also reminds me to restock what we've run out of, especially before flu season or travel. If it's been a while since you looked through your medicine drawer or cabinet, this is a good time. Not to be perfect, just to feel more prepared, and to let go of anything that's no longer helping you care for yourself or your family. The next thing I declutter is old bedding and towels, the ones that are scratchy, stretched out, or just sitting there as extras I never use. For a long time, I kept too many, just in case sets, old pillowcases faded, sheets, mismatched towels from years ago. I told myself they were fine for backups, but in reality, they were taking up space and dragging down the feeling of my home. One weekend, I pulled everything out and sorted by honesty. What do we actually use? What still feels soft and clean after a wash? What makes getting ready or going to bed feel a little better? I donated a few, recycled the worn-out ones, and now we only have what we love and use. No more digging through stacks to find the good towel. They're all good now. If your linen closet or bathroom shelves feel crowded, take a few minutes to simplify. You don't need a mountain of fabric, just a few sets that feel fresh, clean, and comforting. Let the extras go. Make space for ease. Another thing I let go of is old undergarments, stretched out bras, socks with thinning heels underwear that never quite fits right anymore. This category used to be invisible to me. I'd fold the same few pieces I liked and ignore the rest shoved in the back of the drawer. But every so often I'd pull out a pair with a hole or a waistband that rolled, and I'd think, why am I still keeping this? Now every few months I do a quick drawer reset. I toss anything that's worn out, uncomfortable, or that I always skip over. I keep the pieces that feel good, wash well, and actually fit. It's such a small shift, but it changes how you start your day. When every option in your drawer is something you like wearing, getting dressed becomes easier and more peaceful. If your undergarment drawer has become a mix of maybe someday pieces, this is your permission to clear it out. Keep the ones that work. Let go of the rest. You deserve comfort even in the small hidden layers of your day. The next thing I declutter is uncomfortable or worn-out shoes, the ones I keep because they look nice or because I paid good money for them, even though I secretly avoid wearing them. I had a pair of flats that matched everything but gave me blisters every single time. Still, I kept them. For weddings, for just in case, for the idea that maybe one day they'd feel better. But they never did, and every time I chose them, I regretted it. Now I ask one question. Do I actually want to walk in these for more than 10 minutes? I went through my shoe rack, let go of anything damaged, painful, or too tight to enjoy, and suddenly getting dressed felt easier. Every pair left was something I trusted, comfortable, ready, and worn with confidence. If you have shoes you're holding onto for guilt or for looks alone, try this. Wear them around the house for an hour. If they still hurt, it's okay to let them go. Beauty doesn't have to come with blisters. Your feet deserve better. Something else I've learned to declutter is clothes that no longer fit, not just my body, but my life. I used to hold on to outfits from another season of me, work clothes from when I had an office job, dresses I used to wear more often, jeans that haven't zipped in years. I thought keeping them meant I was being practical or hopeful. But really they were quiet reminders of who I used to be, and not always in a kind way. So I started asking, does this still fit the version of me today? I kept what I feel good in now. I let go of what feels tight, fussy, or not aligned with how I actually live. It made room not just in my closet, but in my mindset. You don't need to dress for a version of yourself you've outgrown. Let your wardrobe reflect who you are, not who you used to be. Another thing I declutter is broken items I've been meaning to fix but haven't touched in weeks or even months. At one point, I had a small stack, a lamp that needed rewiring, a chair with a loose leg, a zipper that kept snagging. Every time I walked past them, I felt a tiny wave of guilt, a quiet reminder that I was falling behind. The truth is, if I haven't made time to fix it by now, I probably won't. So I gave myself a clear rule: if something's broken, I either repair it within the week or let it go. Sometimes that means scheduling a quick fix. Other times it means donating or responsibly discarding the item and releasing the mental burden that came with it. You don't have to fix everything. But you also don't have to keep living with a pile of things that quietly make you feel behind. Let clarity win. Next, I declutter old electronics. The phones, chargers, cameras, and gadgets that haven't been used in years but somehow still follow me from drawer to drawer. I found 3 old phones in my closet once. All out of date, none of them charged, but I kept them just in case I needed a backup, in case I wanted old photos, in case I figured out how to recycle them. But all they really did was take up space and add to the digital clutter I couldn't see but could feel. Eventually, I backed up what I needed, cleared the data, and took them to an e-waste drop-off. It took less than 30 minutes total, and I instantly felt lighter. If you've got a tech graveyard hiding in your home, this is your nudge: let it go. Old electronics aren't souvenirs, they're just old stuff. Clear the drawer and make space for what actually powers your life now. Another area I like to declutter is duplicate kitchen tools, those extra spatulas, measuring cups, or peelers I somehow collected without meaning to. For a while, I thought having multiples was smart. One in the dishwasher, one clean. It made sense in theory. But in practice, it just made my drawers harder to open and my prep space feel more crowded. One day, I emptied just one drawer onto the counter. 3 whisks, 4 can openers, 2 identical cheese graters. I realized I always reach for the same favorites anyway. Now I ask myself, which one do I actually use? Which one feels good in my hand? I keep the best and let the rest go, whether that means donating, gifting, or recycling. If your kitchen feels cluttered, this is a good starting point. You don't need 5 versions of anything, just one that works well and room to breathe around it. One more thing I've learned to declutter is kitchen appliances. I haven't used in the past year, even if they were expensive or looked promising at the time. I had a waffle maker that sounded like a great idea, but after using it twice, it lived in the back of a cabinet for 2 whole years. Every time I reached past it, I'd think, maybe I'll use it next weekend, but I never did. Eventually, I realized it was taking up more space than it was giving back in both my kitchen and my head. So now I give myself a simple rule: if it hasn't been used in the last 12 months, it's either gifted, donated, or passed on to someone who will actually enjoy it. You don't need to feel guilty for not being the kind of cook who uses every gadget. You just need tools that match how you really live and cook, not who you thought you might become. Let the rest go and enjoy the space it frees up. Another thing I've let go of is extra vases, the ones that came with flower deliveries, or were picked up with good intentions, but rarely get used. I didn't realize how many I had until I tried to organize the cupboard under the sink. Tall ones, tiny ones, some I didn't even remember owning. Most of them had been sitting untouched for years, taking up valuable space I needed for other things. So I pulled them all out and chose just a few. I truly love the one I reach for when I buy fresh flowers, a small one perfect for clippings from the yard, and one that holds sentimental value. The rest I donated or offered to friends. You don't have to keep every container just in case. If something hasn't been used in a year, it's okay to let it go. Beauty doesn't come from how much you store it, it comes from what you actually enjoy using. Something else I've gently decluttered is my growing pile of greeting cards. Sweet messages from birthdays, holidays, thank yous, all tucked into a box I rarely opened. For a long time, I kept almost every card I received. Not because I read them again, but because it felt wrong to let them go. They held kind words, good memories, and part of me believed I owed them a place in my home. But when I finally sat down and went through them, I realized most of the messages were short and similar. What stayed with me wasn't the paper, it was the feeling, the relationship, the intention. So I kept a few that truly meant something, ones with handwritten notes I might actually want to read again in 10 years. The rest I thanked quietly and recycled. If you've got a box of cards collecting dust, it's okay to let them go. The care they carried is already part of you. You don't need the clutter to keep the connection. Next, I declutter seasonal decor I no longer use, the wreath that stays in the bin year after year, the Halloween sign I keep meaning to hang, or the tangled string lights I haven't touched since moving. I used to think I had to keep everything just in case one year I wanted to do more. But when the same items stayed in the storage bin untouched for 2, 3, even 5 seasons, it became clear they weren't inspiring joy. They were just taking up space. Now I do a simple test each year. If I unpack a seasonal box and skip over something without hesitation, it goes in the donation pile. I only keep the pieces I genuinely love putting out. The ones that feel easy, not forced. If your seasonal stash is overflowing, try this. Notice what you don't reach for, even when it's right in front of you. That's a sign it's okay to let it go. Your storage deserves breathing room too. I also declutter hobby supplies. I'm no longer using knitting needles from that one winter I tried making scarves, paints I bought during a creative phase, or baking tools I haven't touched since I got them. Letting go of these things used to feel like giving up, like I was admitting I failed at something I wanted to enjoy. But over time, I realized trying something and moving on isn't failure, it's growth. Some hobbies stick and some don't. That's okay. So, I took a quiet afternoon, pulled out everything from the closet, and asked a few honest questions. When was the last time I used this? Do I still enjoy it? Will I actually return to it? If the answer was no, I donated it. Someone else might be excited to use what I'm done with. If you've got hobby clutter weighing you down, give yourself permission to change. You're not who you were 2 years ago, and that's a good thing. Something I've recently decluttered and didn't expect to is social media apps and games that no longer add value to my life. There was one app I opened constantly, not because I enjoyed it, but because it became automatic. I'd scroll, swipe, exit, and feel more scattered than before. It wasn't helping me rest. It wasn't inspiring me. It was just filling quiet moments with noise. So I removed it. No drama, no big announcement, just a quiet delete. And the next time I reached for my phone out of habit, I paused. That moment of pause felt like peace. If there's an app on your phone that drains you more than it delights you, try taking a break. You don't have to quit everything. Just remove what feels heavy, pointless, or too loud for the season you're in. Your attention is a resource. And where it goes, your energy follows. Make space for calm even in your digital world. Another quiet form of clutter I've started letting go of is digital buildup. Old photos, random files, unused apps, and downloads I don't even remember saving. I used to think digital clutter didn't really count. It's not taking up space on the floor, right? But over time, I realized how draining it is to scroll through 30 blurry photos just to find the one I like, or how overwhelming it feels when my desktop is covered in forgotten documents. So now I make it simple. I delete duplicates, clear out screenshots, and organize just one folder at a time. No need to clean the whole cloud in one sitting, just small steps that make my digital world feel less chaotic. Sometimes I even turn it into a cozy evening routine. A cup of tea, soft music, and a little photo clean-out session that brings back memories and clears the clutter. Your devices hold a lot of noise, and when you clear that noise even just a little, your mind starts to feel quieter too. The last thing I declutter, and honestly, it might be the most important, is the stuff I already decided to let go of, but never actually took out of the house. You know the bags I mean. Donation piles sitting by the door, boxes of to deal with later in the corner of the laundry room. I've had them too, things I was proud to release but didn't follow through on. And every time I walked past them, I felt stuck, like the decision wasn't finished. So now I set a simple rule: if something's in a donation bag, it leaves the house within the week. I'll schedule a drop-off, ask a friend if they want it, or post in a local group, because the longer it sits, the heavier it feels. Decluttering isn't done until the stuff is gone. Don't let one small delay take away from the progress you've already made. Let it go all the way out the door, and give yourself the full peace that comes with truly finishing. That's everything I've been letting go of quietly, consistently, to make more space before the new year. Not just space in my home, but in my mind, in my days, and in how I move through each room. If you're feeling overwhelmed by clutter, I hope this gave you a place to start, something simple, doable, and honest. And if you're curious about what you might not need to bring in at all things, we often buy store or keep without thinking. I'll be sharing more on that tomorrow. Less spending, less clutter, and a little more clarity. If this video helped you, feel free to share it with a friend or subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.